Hi guys, Arindam here, and in this video I'll be showing you the absolute best possible way to complete the snow cave and get the artifact of the strong needed for the dragon boss fight on the island map as of November 2024. So I'll be showing you the absolute best possible way, and that involves the Yutyrannus. But we will not be raising the Yutyrannus underneath, and we will also be able to navigate this problem that you need to have a deployed cryofridge with a generator nearby. So we are currently situated at the mouth of the snow cave at 26 by 29, and what we are going to do is we are going to deploy a cryopod inside the mouth of the cave just when the entrance is sufficiently big so that we can deploy our Yutyrannus. But on official PvP we have this problem. So what do we do? Let me show you what I do. So from this area we are going to head on up, again going past this area, and then when this icy path ends and the snowy rocky part starts, we have constructed a generator. We have powered it up, and we have a powered cryofridge. Just because this is something that is peculiar to PvP, especially official PvP, I have constructed this fence kind of thing with 4 auto turrets and fences like this. This is going to protect you from all the dangers from other hostile players. And in case you cannot, if somebody has already blocked this area and you cannot build it, the other option is to use a Quetzal or a Paraceratherium or any platform dino, and inside the platform and over the platform saddle construct a generator. Generator should be powered, and then what you do is you take in this Rhinognatha, and the Rhinognatha needs to actually hold the cryofridge and hover over the air, and then you will simply dismount from the Rhinognatha. So the combination of a platform saddled generator powered on with a Rhinognatha hovering with the cryofridge will allow you to deploy the cryopod just underneath this area. And why I'm saying just underneath, because we are currently situated just above the main chamber's entrance where we are going to actually deploy our cryopod. Let me also show you the GPS coordinates. The GPS coordinates of this area is 24.4 by 27.7. So again, from this area we have these 2 trees over here, we have the rocky part starts over here, this is where the icy part ends, and now we are going to come back down, come back down, and we have constructed a logout shack which will contain 2 respawning beds and a boxes, again made of metal, to cater to official PvP kind of audience. This is just to ensure that if any mishap happens, you will be able to go back out and collect your really precious gear. Now, so let's head. Okay, let me do one more thing. Let me park my Rhinognatha inside, just so that it is shielded and also hidden. Now regarding the actual equipment, so I'm going to require on my hotbar 2 and 3 either a pickaxe or a hatchet to destroy some of the crystals that will be blocking the way. I need med brews for healing just in case I require it, and I am using just primitive and ramshackle fur armor. That's it. Most of my insulation is actually gotten from my Otter. It is a wild level 150 with all points put into melee and some kind of basic saddle, and not saddle, kind of a hide hat. So the Otter will allow me to carry multiple artifacts at the same time and also provide me hypothermic insulation needed for the cave. We will most certainly not require Freya curry, and this 124 saddle I will not be using it. So initially I'll be showing you the Yutyrannus with a 25 armor basic engram quality primitive saddle. So I'm going to initially show you with the engram quality primitive saddle, and after I show you how much damage it is taking, then I'm going to probably revert back to the ascendant one. Now this part you can actually fit a baryonyx through this area, but you cannot fit any other creature. Unlike ARK Survival Evolved, this area has now gone from a crawl space like below to a rather big area. Unfortunately, the biggest dinos that can actually fit through this area are the baryonyx as well as maybe the Gigantopithecus or the Daedon. But now, thanks to the effect of the cryopod, watch this. This is the main area. Ta-da! So, as you can see, we have wolves here. This is my Yutyrannus. Let me show you the stats of my Yutyrannus. As you can see, we also have the cryopod cooldown of 90 seconds like BVP. So my Yutyrannus does not have very high health or damage, so it has around 30k melee, 650 melee and 30k health, but the imprinting bonus is there of 100%. That is why you can also see the beautiful color. On official PvP, you are obviously going to get much higher stats, so that is not a problem. So generally what I would do is I'm going to clear out the first section with the primitive saddle, show you how much damage the bears and the yeti is actually giving to my Yutyrannus, and then since we don't want to waste like an hour or so just clearing out the cave and healing with raw meat, I'm going to switch over to the Ascended saddle, and then we are going to make this video slightly faster. So with that being said, let's start. You can see the bears hit really hard. In fact, even the polar parlovias hit pretty hard. Alright, so there are no explorer nodes in this cave. There are no explorer nodes in the cave, so you're going to be doing the cave for only two things: getting the artifact and getting some of the really nice loot drops. Now let me show you one more thing. So if I come into the traits part, I have all 5 traits. The one that is important for this cave is the vampiric one, allowing you to recover a bit of health. I also have protective, which thankfully I got at level 3. The others are not really that much important. So show you my health. So we have already lost like 4k health in the initial section. The reason why Yutyrannus is very important creature is because Yutyrannus's right click attack, that is the fear roar, can actually ensure that parlovias which are burrowed in the ground like that is actually going to get scared and unburrow itself, so that they don't actually jump and dismount you. Let me show you that. Alright, so we have cleared a bit of the cave. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to simply swap out from the primitive saddle to the Ascended saddle, because I don't want to waste your time and my time healing up with all this raw meat. So I'm going to do this. Okay. If you want to go into this side, at the very end there will be one of the loot drops. The Yutyrannus is the largest creature that can fit through the entirety of the cave, and being an apex predator, only alpha creatures will be directly aggroed to the Yutyrannus. That is alpha creatures are the Yeti, the Yeti being an alpha Gigantopithecus, and the polar bear being an alpha bear. But direwolves, polar purlovias, anglerfish, those things will not be aggro. So in ARK Survival Evolved, March 18th, 2020, I made the exact same video with the Yutyrannus, and that was a game-changing video for my YouTube channel, because that video launched my YouTube channel for ARK Survival Evolved, and that video became popular. In fact, that video was the rank 1 video regarding the artifact of the strong on the island, the snow cave, on Google search as well as YouTube for many years. Probably it still is, I'm not sure. So when ARK Ascended came, I had thought of multiple different ways to do this. Eventually I thought I'm going to be showing you exactly the way I did it evolve with the updated strategy. Another good thing about the Yutyrannus is that unlike the Rex and many other creatures, it actually has a pretty tight turning radius. People always think of the Yutyrannus as a non-combat mount. That is not actually true. By the way, I lost around 5-6k health even with a 124 saddle. That is why it's very important to have a really good saddle or really good health for this particular cave. If you were to traverse in that direction, there will be one more possible location for a cave loot drop. Another good thing about the Yutyrannus is, even if hypothetically you do not see a Purlovia which is burrowed and it still jumps and dismounts you, the dismount will still keep you underneath the saddle, and you will not actually fall to the ground, which generally happens if you were to take a smaller creature like an Allosaurus. Look at the number of polar Purlovias. You can see, even with a capped 124 saddle, I am still taking a monstrous amount of damage. one thing. What happens if I were to do this? As you can see, I'm certainly doing a lot more damage, which means I should be using my fear roll to decrease the armor of these creatures. Interesting. Let's do a status check or not. Okay, just look at my HP, just look at it. So this is with a capped 124 saddle. Clearly it is the polar bears that are actually doing a lot of damage. So if the polar bears were to give me damage of around over 200 at one hit, which means 5 hits and I lost 1k health, that is enormous. So unlike me, who is force feeding raw meat and healing up, the other option you can have is you can also have a Daedon that you will be setting to follow. So you clear one chamber, then you go back to the previous chamber and let the Daedon heal your UT up, and in this way you do it step by step. It will take a bit more time and you will require 2 dinos, but that will ensure that you don't need to spend a lot of time in force feeding meat, that which I am doing right now. And it is very important that I actually show you this step, because in general what I have seen is we are supposed to make the guide videos on YouTube with realistic stats, but if we were to use really powerful stats, if we were to alter the settings of our video, then it doesn't paint a realistic picture, and eventually when people try to replicate the video on their server, they fail. That is a massive loss of trust for the YouTube channel, which I don't want, and that also means a loss of time and a loss of effort for the person who actually lost their dino and their cave run. I don't want any of that. So that is one reason when I always make the videos, I do not edit or cut out any part of my video, so you see exactly what I am doing, every single part of it. If you feel like this force feeding part is boring, you can simply skip to a few minutes ahead and you are going to again see me continuing on the fighting. Now I am right now recording this video with a bit of fever, lot of cold and a massive throat ache, so it's kind of hard for me to speak in a more entertaining way. Okay, let's see if I can heal it up to around 20k health. You can skip this part completely, you can skip this part, just move to a few minutes ahead, or you can fast forward the video. So this is my last artifact video using the standard brute force kind of way. Eventually after doing the bosses, at least on the gamma difficulty, I'm going to come back and redo all of the artifact caves, and then I'm going to show you the other quirky, tricky way in which you can complete all of the artifact caves and get the artifact with minimal to no damage taken and no combat. So I have already thought about how to do that for every single cave, including this particular cave. I'll be showing you after I complete one round of boss fights. Okay, let me do one thing. I have access to this. I have access to this. So wait a second. Why bother? I mean, technically I could do the entire video in slow-mo too, and that is going to ensure that this thing is done much faster. I actually forgot about it. Like I'm using these console commands like slow-mo this, volumetric fog off, just to ensure that the video is done better. I would not consider it cheating. So as you can see now, it's healing rather fast. So let me do something more. Let me make it slow-mo 100. Look how fast it is healing now. I totally forgot about the slow-mo command. So I am so focused in actually telling you what I intend to actually say that I forgot that I actually have access to these commands, which I should use just to ensure you guys don't get bored and fall asleep. So let me heal up to the very end. Alright. Okay, now let's do this. Let me show you something. In ARK Survival Evolved, if you were to actually fall into this water, your dino will actually take damage. In ARK Ascended, that is not the case. Okay, so at this location, one of the really high level loot drops actually spawn. Excuse me. Okay, so getting a bit hard for me to actually talk with my current throat ache and cough. So at this location you should clear out the entire area so that there are no surprises, and then take your pickaxe and do this. I don't need any of this. So now, okay, I also don't need any pelt. I only need the raw meat really, to be honest, and the saddle, sorry. So drop these guys off, don't want to get encumbered. And we have a nice loot drop, but there might be there are no surprises. Let me see if I can dismount a bit beforehand so that I do not actually get stuck in the mesh. Yeah, so you saw that loot gear 1130 armor. I'm not going to be showing that in any video because that is way above the official limits. My videos are always on official limits fully, the equipment, the server settings, everything. I only have boosted versions for harvesting and breeding. Look at the number of features in this file. because of my fear road, because of the effects of my fear road, the polar bears are not doing as much damage. Again, something to keep in mind. If you drop down here, you're going to get angler fishes and really big saber-tooth salmons. Let's do a damage check. We lost around 7k health. That's fine. No problem. We're coming rather close to the artifact. Thanks to the AI path tracing of ARK Ascended, instead of that Parlovia trying to attack me from there, it actually now comes, takes the path and tries to attack me above. Nice. The Yutyrannus, thanks to its massive size, has this really good advantage that it can actually attack these creatures way before the creatures actually have a chance to attack the Yuty. It has good reach, just like an apex predator. Look at that Yeti abandoning the fight. If you really need to... Oh, now I realize. The Yeti had to take a dump. That's why it walked off like a gentleman. Whether you are fighting or flighting, nothing is more important than nature's call. And even animals realize that. If I were to dismount, then it's going to regenerate stamina much faster. Alright. Again, don't need this. So if you were to take the left path up, high up, then you're going to reach an area where another potential loot drop happens. Now from here, we just have, as you can see, there is a really nice loot drop, but unfortunately if I have to get there, I'm going to require grappling hooks. So yeah, that's red loot drop is out of reach. Yet another area where we are going to require the help of the pickaxe. So we have now come rather close to the artifact chamber. Let's come to this choke point and then try to attack the creatures so that it's easier for me to actually funnel them and attack them. Now we took a bit of beating. So we lost around 9000 HP even with a 124 saddle. So let me do this one more time. Ish. So this is an unfortunate reality. So even with a saddle this powerful, because of how hard hitting the dire bears and the parlovias are, you are going to manually have to clear out each area and then heal up. Now if you are not playing solo like me on official servers, so you can obviously have like a 3-man tribe, 2 men manning 2 Yutyrannuses made boosted, imprinted, and the third person can be maybe one with a dire bull, sorry, a Daedon. It's only when you are playing solo then we have to be mindful about all of these separate challenges. So I most probably don't think I would require any more than that. We can stop for the moment. We are nearly placed there to the artifact. I'm going to speed this part up so that this video isn't unnecessarily big. Do you know something? Let me tell you something. Parlovias in real life are actually vegetarians. So on the Lost Island map in ARK Survival Evolved, I have actually constructed a zoo with all 300 plus creatures that are there in ARK. So I actually have a zoo constructed in Lost Island in ARK Survival Evolved. You can check out the video playlist for the zoo on my channel, and there I actually highlighted the fact that to be a bit careful, there are actually saber tooths also. So on the Lost Island map I had constructed a zoo, and I have recorded the zoo across multiple videos where I have mentioned that your Parlovias in real life are actually vegetarian. The version that we see in ARK is actually a mutated version. Because it's mutated, hybrid version for ARK, that is why it is having carnivorous behavior. Now all of ARK's creatures are actually not the real thing. It's not Tyrannosaurus Rex, it's Tyrannosaurus something else. Same with Giganotosaurus. So the version that is there in ARK is called Giganotosaurus furiosa. And the furiosa is the other component of the scientific name. But the real life Giganotosaurus is actually called Giganotosaurus carolini. And that is ARK's way of justifying the crazy sizes and behavior of the different ARK creatures. Actually there is a good lore based reason for that, because these creatures are actually made by the overseer, and the overseer kind of made a mistake. Look at that, it jumped. I actually missed that Parlovia and the Parlovia jumped, but because of the size of the Yutyrannus, it could not hit me, it could not dismount me. monkey has fallen there, not monkey, the ape has fallen, and we have reached the location of the artifact. So here is the artifact. Coordinates of the artifact is, oh, I got an achievement. You personally retrieve all the artifacts. 26.5 by 22.6. Nice. So I've gotten my Steam achievement. That also kind of verifies the fact that this is the first time I'm doing this cave on ARK Ascended with this strategy. But I knew this strategy would work. That's the important part. So I knew this would work, and that is how I was able to convince myself to go through with the entirety of the thing. Now we can simply hightail out of there. Dire wolves are not going to aggro onto Yutyrannus because Yutyrannus is a apex predator, and dire wolf does not attack apex predators like this. In fact, let me do something else. I don't need all this meat. I don't need anything. So now we can simply head on back without any worries. Yeah, well, this also happened. So unless you are taking a metric ton of time inside the cave, there is very less chance of the enemies respawning to the initial levels in the earlier chamber. So it should be a smooth sailing back from you towards the mouth of the cave. On official PvP, there is one additional trick people actually do. So on the different water lakes, ponds in this particular cave, they actually drop rafts, and rafts block the spawns. Rafts actually block the spawns from actually happening. That actually reduces the number of enemies in the cave. Yeah, again, a little ingenuity from our ARK fellas. So now let me take a shortcut again, or well, let me show you something. Let me do this. Okay, let me actually get that little cave loot drop. I actually mentioned to you that a loot drop spawns over there, and this time it has actually obliged. Now we can actually hightail it out of the cave with the artifact safely. Okay. Okay. Okay, is this some sort of a new development? Don't tell me that I'm going to get stuck because of this area. That's alright. So that was a weird thing. So maybe on PvP you could actually build some kind of a metal bridge to counter that place, or maybe you can take some other thing. And that's only for PvP, not for PvE. Let's see if I can actually jump from this area to that area. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Otherwise I'm going to be in... Okay, yeah, it worked. So of course, like I could cryo my Yutyrannus and then head on back out on foot, but that's going to be a bit risky. And there is another cave loot drop, by the way. I'm not going to be picking that part up because that will require me to go into this area and clear out all the mobs, and that is going to consume a lot of time also. So we have now reached the main entrance. We have gotten our artifact. Our dino is also healing up. Now we can simply cryo this guy out, and then head on back safely. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's the way it's done. Successful completion of the snow cave with the time and rested Yutyrannus, keeping in mind all of the restrictions of official servers. So if you found this video helpful, please drop a like, subscribe, share around, and hit the bell notifications. And on the next video I'll be actually start showing you the different boss fights. So till then, stay tuned and thank you for watching.